Hello, my lovelies. 18. Yes, 18 BL series wrapped up in just the past 2 months. And I had to show up with my verdict. Now, let me be honest, this round was all about quantity over quality. Thailand gave us a flood of BLs, but let's be real, most of them were either barely watchable or just straight up exhausting. We were bombarded with shows that prioritized shock value over storytelling, weak plots, chaotic character arcs, and enough forced NC scenes to make you roll your eyes into another dimension. Sure, we had something to watch every day, but how many of them were actually worth watching? As always, I'm serving you the no nonsense, zero fluff review. So stay tuned till the end to find out which show actually earned the number one spot on this chaotic list. Season of Love Shamane should be called Season of Sex Shitane cause the sex was shit and love was nowhere to be found. Even with all those NC scenes, I felt nothing but secondhand embarrassment. The leads had zero chemistry. It was like watching stiff choreography from an overproduced Corn film. Mechanical, awkward, and completely lifeless. Visually, it was just as dead. Everything was beige. The scenery, the outfits, the lighting, even the plants outside looked like they gave up. And the plot? There was no plot. Not a single thread of a story to hold on to. I genuinely don't understand why they keep forcing out a new season of Love installment every year when it flops without fail. Stop trying to make fetch happen, it's never gonna happen. If I wanted a travel vlog about Thailand, I'd go and watch Mark Veins on YouTube, not a BL series. I come here for plot or at least a hint of one. This show, it was basically a glorified sightseeing brochure. I tapped out after episode 3 because I was bored out of my mind. Now call me shallow if you want, but I watch BLs to see visually pleasing leads. If I wanted to see chopped up, unremarkable faces, I'd just step outside my house. I genuinely don't understand how two men were supposed to be fighting over that main character. Like, be serious. And you're telling me he chose the bland Taiwanese guy over that stunning southern Thai man who was literally worshipping the ground he walked on? Be for real, none of it made sense. It was delusional, frustrating, and frankly bullshit. Let's talk about this never-ending mission to the moon, because honestly, this series has dragged on longer than my last depressive episode. And trust me, that's saying something. Now, I love Mon and Park, I really do. I want to support them. But this low-budget chaos, it's giving BL fans will eat anything, and I take offense. It genuinely feels like they slapped on 20 baht rental costumes, grabbed one shaky handheld camera, threw in a few awkward NC scenes and called it a day. Like we're just supposed to lap it up because it's BL. No, seriously shut up, be serious, we're not that desperate. I graduated high school years ago. I don't need to be subjected to what looks like an annual day skit filmed with pocket change. Don't waste good actor chemistry on something this juvenile and plotless. Give Mon and Park the scripts they deserve, not this parody of a series. Ugh, where do I even begin with eye contact? From start to finish, this series was a disaster. Every single character was written to be loud, eccentric, and downright nonsensical. They were either shallow, annoying, or just plain problematic, and not in an interesting way. I couldn't even figure out who the protagonist was because everyone was equally chaotic and frankly trash. Now, if I had to give any credit, it would be the couple who played Jane and John. They had some chemistry, which is more than I can say for the rest of this mess. But even that was wasted because their storyline was so poorly written it barely made sense. The acting was painfully amateur. The plot clearly crafted to sensationalize, not to tell a coherent story. This wasn't a drama, it was a collection of attention-seeking moments stitched together with zero substance. I genuinely hate this series from the bottom of my heart. VTV, please do better. Streaming shows like this hurts your platform more than it helps. Now, I feel bad saying it because I like Mark as an actor and I admire P. Pepsi as a director because she has made shows like Kin Porsche and My Stand-In before. But their show was absolutely trash. They tried to make it funny and fluffy, but it was cringe, chaotic, and boring. So boring that I couldn't watch 5 minutes without going on my phone and getting distracted. I'm sorry to say, but Mark and Om have no chemistry, and GMM TV shouldn't have made them a permanent ship. They both need different partners and they don't work well together at all. I know that even GMM TV is embarrassed by the performance of this series because they removed one episode from it at the last minute. In this day and age, we can't even trust good directors to bring us something consistently worth watching. It's a shame because I truly thought Pepsi can do no wrong. I used to think a bad plot was enough to ruin a show, but no, overacting and downright bizarre behavior can take it even further and completely bury it. Now, I understand why no streaming platform touched this one and it ended up on YouTube. This was a full blown train wreck. It honestly felt like they loaded the entire cast and crew onto a bus, drove to some village, and filmed the whole thing in 2 days. 6 episodes, and somehow they crammed in a ridiculous number of characters and subplots, none of which made any sense. The acting was dreadful. I'm talking nightmare fuel. I don't know who cast the main couple, but clearly no one checked whether they could act. Spoiler, they couldn't. I didn't even bother finishing it because honestly I didn't care. This show belongs in the dustbin and should never be resurrected. I genuinely think Strongberry has lost the plot literally and figuratively. Gone are the days when they gave us solid, well-made BLs. This was just a complete waste of potential. You had two good-looking actors and yet the writing and direction were so weak that even their looks couldn't save it. There was zero chemistry and the pacing was a disaster. It took me 10 whole minutes just to figure out who the protagonist was, and by the time I did, the episode was basically over. It's honestly baffling. I'm at the point where I think Strongberry should just stop making BLs altogether because it really feels like they've forgotten how to make one. Let me say this up front, this is my opinion, this is my channel, and I'm here for people who share my taste. If you loved Boys in Love, good for you, but I didn't. This BL was way too mushy for me. If you're giving me a high school setting, I need drama, angst, realism, gel boy style. I don't do cutesy fluff, especially when even the adult characters act like wide-eyed teens discovering love for the first time. Like, please, why are 30-year-olds giggling like it's their first crush? Where's the contrast? Where's the emotional depth? I'll admit the acting was fine, the chemistry was fine, but the plot had me reaching for my dad's metformin because the sugar overload was unbearable. Sweetness with no bitterness? I can't swallow it. I won't. This might be great PL for newbies or anyone looking for mindless fluff, but for people like me, it's a hard no. A negative 100 no. Wrong Number is probably Suck Film's weakest PL to date, but strangely, I still liked it. The plot was genuinely refreshing. A love story that starts from a literal wrong number. A straight guy slowly falling for a gay guy, both helping each other heal. I was hooked. But then came the kiss and I was genuinely disappointed. Suck Film has never dropped the ball on a kiss until now. This one was over in less than a second. Just a dry lip touch and scene over. And don't even come at me with the uncut version. Paying viewers confirmed it's barely any longer. What made it worse is the lead literally says right before the kiss, "This kiss will not be over in 2 minutes. Honey, it didn't even last 2 seconds. Don't gas up like that and then leave us starving." I still appreciated the story, but that kiss felt like betrayal with a bow on top. Chinese short BLs really stay serving. I genuinely like this one because it explored something we rarely see in BLs. Being in a relationship with someone who repeatedly cheats on you and having to face the emotional wreckage that comes with it. It tackled commitment issues, self worth, and the complexity of staying in love with someone who keeps messing up. Sure, they kept it a little lighter than real life, but for just 4 episodes, I think they delivered the message surprisingly well. The couple had great chemistry, the acting was solid, and the kisses were absolutely fire. Honestly, what's not to like? This one deserves more attention. Never Fair was short, cute, and very suck film coded. 3-person cafe, 2-person bar that looks exactly like the cafe, and a grand total of 3 cast members. Classic. But you know what? Despite the budget constraints, no one can take away what mattered: fire chemistry and a clear, focused storyline. The Dom sub undertone is what really pulled me in. On you being all dominant and possessive, barely giving Yu-Hawk any room to breathe. Yeah, I was into it. Honestly, I'd love to see this pairing work together again. They had that rare spark that low-budget BLs usually can't buy. It was short but surprisingly satisfying. I know this is going to hurt everybody's heart, but I just need to come out and say it, because if I don't, I'd be lying to myself. My Golden Blood was absolute crap, and no amount of handsomeness can save it. I'm not going to blame Joss and Gavin, they were fine, although I do wish Gavin acted a little better. The real issue was the production. For an action vampire BL, it was seriously low budget. Covered in cliches, bad special effects, and writing that felt like it came from a Wattpad teenager's first draft. The action scenes were so poorly directed they looked more like a comedic parody than anything serious. I honestly don't understand how a production team can release something this half-baked without feeling embarrassed. This show wasn't just bad, it was setting Thai BL at least 2 decades back. I've said it before, I had completely given up on Vietnamese BLs. The acting was consistently weak, the storylines dragged, and I was honestly tired of seeing Pawan's face on every single poster. But My Sweet Brother-in-Law actually surprised me. The acting still wasn't great, let's be real, but the storytelling delivered. It was dramatic, full of twists, and kept me hooked from episode 1. There were no filler moments, just straight up plot and melodrama packed into every episode. What stood out to me was how bold and direct the writing was. It didn't tiptoe around emotion or conflict. And while it wasn't flawless, it was absolutely watchable. A rare win from the Vietnamese BL scene, and I'll take it. I really loved the sparkle in your eye. It felt raw, honest, and unflinching. No sugarcoating, no fluff, just the brutal truth hiding behind the glitz of the entertainment industry. This drama didn't try to soften the blow, it just slapped you in the face with reality, and I respected that. I completely fell for the main couple. Their story was beautiful, painful, and deeply human. Yes, I do wish we got a few more soft or romantic moments between them, but considering the amount of trauma they were carrying, I get why the tone stayed heavy. The love story felt real and the direction made sense. I appreciate this drama for exactly what it was: unapologetically dark, emotional, and necessary. I genuinely hope this cast works together again because their chemistry and performances were unforgettable. No, it doesn't make me shallow if I liked watching My Stubborn. No, it doesn't make me a NC scene whore if I loved watching My Stubborn. Is it so hard for people to accept that a sex-heavy series can also have plot? People keep dragging the show for having no plot, but Son not willing to commit to Jun because of past trauma from dating a younger woman but still not being able to let him go is absolutely plot. It's literally the emotional center of the whole series. Why is it so hard to accept that a fictional BL couple can have a passionate physical relationship without it being labeled shallow or cheap? They are adults in a relationship and yes, they enjoy sex. Big deal. If you're still clutching your fake pearls over that, maybe it's time to grow up and act your age. Let people enjoy things. This show knew what it was doing and it delivered it well. and I have no shame in saying I loved it. Ball Boy Tactics was amazing. It was heartwarming, heart-fluttering, and one of those rare dramas that actually made me excited to wake up early and watch a new episode. I honestly can't remember the last time a Korean BL made me feel like this. Maybe not since the Let Free the Curse of Taekwondo era. I adored the main couple, their chemistry was beautiful, and the kisses were so well done. I loved how soft Jongwoo was for Jiwon, how he soothed him, supported him, and handled every moment with care and patience. And watching Jiwon go through his first love and dating experience only to end up with someone who truly loves him and will always take care of him, that hit me right in the heart. This drama was unproblematic, sweet, and fluffy in the best way possible. No unnecessary drama, no chaos, just a story that made you believe in love a little more. I honestly debated putting Top Form as my number one drama on this entire list. It came so close. There were just a couple of things that held it back. But let's be clear, I loved this show. They gave us something fresh, something completely different from the usual Thai BL formula. This is one of the very few Thai adaptations of a Japanese manga that actually worked, and I'd say it did 80% justice to the original. That alone deserves credit. The acting was top-notch, the chemistry was even better. Smart and Boom had that rare, unforgettable spark that just can't be replicated. It genuinely hurts knowing they likely won't work together again. But my only issue was that Jin's character. He was just too sweet, too perfect, and honestly a little one note from beginning to the end. I kept wishing for just a bit more edge, a little bit more personality to balance things out. Still, this was one of the strongest, most satisfying BLs in recent memory, and it almost took the crown. My number one Finnish drama of the last 2 months and probably the entire year so far is none other than Bangkok Boy. I can't even believe how good this was. Bangkok Boy hit all the right notes. So realistic, adrenaline pumping, and packed with non-stop action. Every episode was loaded with story, and I completely fell for Sun and Peace. This was a real enemies to lovers story. Not that fake, watered down version where they're barely enemies at all. No, Peace's dad literally killed Sun's father and destroyed his future. That's real stakes, real pain. To my knowledge, this is the first real underground Thai gang story in BL. And I want to applaud the production for trusting us fans with something dark and authentic. They treated us like we are worthy of a story this raw. I'm begging for season 2 because they left so many threads hanging, perfectly setting up for more. This is the kind of BL that raises the bar and I'm here for it. So that's my no-nonsense ranking of the last 2 months of BLs. Some hits, mostly misses. If you like this, hit like and subscribe for more real BL reviews. Drop your thoughts below. Did your favorite make it? Thanks for watching. Bye.